Hey y'all, back for another special episode of Something for the Culture. I am your host, Jazzy J, and I got my co-host here, Knowledge Born Allah from Do the Knowledge Radio. Hey bro.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. You understand?
So I'm gonna let my co-host kick it off tonight since it's a special episode. So go ahead.
We got a special guest by special request. He is no stranger to the hip hop industry. He is one of the cultural icons that is responsible from a side that is seldom seen, the business side. We know the aspects of hip hop from an elemental side, but not necessarily from the business side. So, one who has made major moves and gave many opportunities to a lot of artists in the industry over the years. So, we want to take a moment of his time and welcome to the culture a cultural icon, a pusher, a motivator, an inspirer, and a truth teller. Let's give it up for the one and the only Kal Dawson.
Woo! Welcome to the
What's going
culture.
What's going on? What's going on, folks?
Glad to
What's
have you,
going
my
on?
brother. Glad to have you. Okay, let me tuck my chain in real quick, man. New York in the house. I don't know, New York in the house. Let me put my
Okay,
tuck my knee in.
tighten up, bro. Tighten up.
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
So let's get into the nitty gritty because I don't like to waste no time. So the infamous Mr. Kyle Dawson. We have seen you on Vlad platform, Drink Champs. We've seen you everywhere. Your name has been ringing across the airwaves and podcast streets and big platforms for a while now. You've worked with a lot of elite celebrities. One in which we're gonna zoom right on in 50. So could you tell us your relationship with 50?
It starts with Sabrina, his mother. You know, she's a hustler, and I used to hustle with her, and she showed me uh how to transform cocaine into crack. That's how our relationship started. She was much older than I was, but she was in the game because I'm from Baisley Projects, and she's from over there by Rochdale, the back blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So as years and years went on, she passed away. I think like in '85, she passed away. She passed away around 84, 85. And as years went on, her son Boo Boo, which we called him, grew up to be 50. He was getting money. He was doing his thing. He was on 134 and got brought. My man Black Just was fucking with him. So moving 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 along. Oh man.
Oop, did we lose him?
You got to call it. It sound like, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
You get to call it. The sound went out, so you probably hop right back in.
Well, in the meantime, in between time, while we're waiting for him to thaw out, how did you hear about the infamous Call Dawson, bro?
Just through the industry, more so, like I said, on the business side and knowing people that know people, people talk, and it's very rare to see
Mm-hmm.
a black face in some of these positions. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like for instance, with Wu Tang, if I used an example, a lot of people didn't know who Mook was for a long time. It was just a name that you heard infamously, like yo Mook, we gotta talk to Mook, we gotta talk to Mook, whatever the case may be. But him
Mm-hmm.
making himself visible, you wouldn't know that he was the mastermind. It wasn't like he took a front row seat like a Master P. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So oftentimes in the business space, you think about Lighty and some of those, iconic names, they weren't very public. You see what I'm saying? So along with them not being public or visible. It was just mainly what they did in regards to what the artist was. So I heard his track record through his artistry, like his artist work. You see what I'm saying? And the people
Mm,
he was working with, and it might have been a lot. Just like for instance, like what's my man name, the comedian? He'd be like, "Who raised you?"
mm,
Uh, he do a bunch of those, interviews over there. He does a lot of those interviews, but like, and it sounds like the things that he's saying far fetched. But when you've been around so long, you're there with everybody. You see what I'm
mm.
saying? So he's one of the guys that was around the scenes for everybody in the background. He just wasn't somebody that was in the forefront. So I heard
Right.
of him because of that, because of his relationships and moves in a couple different, but artistry most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same way I, got wind of him, through mutual people we know and,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the business side of things. So, up here he goes. Oop. All right,
Yeah,
welcome back. All
yeah,
right,
I'm,
go ahead and
I'm,
continue what you were
yeah,
saying.
I'm getting a lot of phone calls, boy, because I'm on a fly tonight. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, but we got an event tonight. It's Queens Get the Money. I'm on a flyer. Father see birthday parties. He gonna be there. Miss Jones gonna be there from Astoria, Queens. Positive K, Spig Nice. So there's a lot of people from Queens down here. Grandmaster Vic,
Mm.
my man Ty Wells, Wise McGriff, nephew of Supreme.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people down here from Queens due to the storm that was going on that was in Florida and it messed up some areas in Georgia. But a lot of people from New York, from our neighborhoods, Jamaica, Queens, is down in Atlanta tonight because it's a Queens Day weekend in Atlanta.
Epic,
Mhm.
epic right there.
Okay. Yeah, that's an epic
So
card right
back to the
there.
question
So
of
as you were saying,
relationship
you were saying your relationship with 50.
with 50, right? Um, we have been cool for years because when you're in that lifestyle, when you're in the streets getting money, you know all people's names because you're right there from that area. You know what I mean? So an episode that happened at Amazon's when they had the after party for the movie Belly, the Hype Williams from Queens. So a lot of
Mhm.
people that was in the movie was at the after party at Amazon's. Long story short, a guy I grew up with and Basic
Mhm.
Project, little cross sheet for me, he happened to rob Ja Rule there. So when he robbed Ja Rule, you know, Irv called, uh, Preem spoke to me, like to get the jury back. Got the jury back from the guy and presented to Irv and gave it to Ja. So at that moment, Irv hired me to be the president
Mhm.
of Murder Inc. because I have a lot of influence in the neighborhood and also was very knowledgeable with the music industry business. So the thing when I went on the lab, right, and did an interview, right, everybody thought that me and 50 Cent had some beef or they said, oh, he's fraudulent, none of that. 50 told Vlad take the interview down because he don't rock with Vlad. You know what I mean? And 50 is very
Mhm.
boisterous. If he got an issue with you, he got no problem going on live, going on YouTube, and saying whatever you're gonna say. Like he did to Floyd Mayweather, he did it to Jim Jones and many others. So he just told Vlad to
Right.
take it down. And people thought that, oh, Kal Dawson was capping, he don't fuck with Fifth. But on some nigga shit, it's like if you don't hear it from the horse's mouth, it's not valid at all. He ain't never once said he just told Vlad take it down. He's like, yo, Cal, I don't fuck with Vlad. He a culture vulture. He says some shit about Farrakhan. I don't fuck with. I just told him take it down. I didn't put that
Mhm.
fraudulent shit up there. Someone else did that. I just took it down, and he took it off his Instagram page and everything. So people flip it. The other people want to make nothing just and oh he don't fuck with 50. He's lying and da da da. But I present to you after the Vlad video where he hugged
Mm-hmm.
me and the light skinned dude named Un.
Mm-hmm.
And then I showed you another time I was with him again. We was in VIP, only selected few people was able to be around. It was me, 50, and his uncle True.
Right.
Did I not send you that, Jasmine?
You did. You did. I can
Okay.
contest for
Enough
all of
said.
that.
Enough said. But
Okay, so
this
let me
this
ask
is
you
what
this.
black folks do to each other though. You know, they always wanna
Right.
stick the dagger at and my whole thing is everybody in this world got opinions, like an asshole. Everybody got one. But you know, people always striving for the negative narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because I can call him now and he gonna pick up. If you don't pick up, he'll hit me back.
Mm-hmm.
I plugged him in with me to do the BMF series. Him and Benzito was beefing. Him and his uncle called me. He was like, "Yo, why Benzito saying ooh, ooh, ooh?" I said, "I'm gonna talk to him." And he took all that shit down. He was talking about Benzino. So
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? It's like this shit is funny to me.
What about? Let me ask you this, and then I'm gonna let knowledge get in there. The JU interview. Because JU was acting like he didn't know who you was. What's going on with that?
Do you ever see JU with 50 Cent, the kid Juke? I'm asking you a question. You
I
know,
mean, I have. I can't say that I personally have, but that's
50
me.
don't
I'm
fuck
one
with that
person.
dude. So that dude was another one with the slamming names out. I think Kal Dawson is something physically wrong with him. Da 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 da. He won't say that shit in my face. You know what I'm saying? Like he try to get a little 5 minute fame, but he won't say that shit in my face. I guarantee you that. And 50 don't fuck with him at all because he did some glimpsing shit. So when you get left to the side, you're a little sad little puppy crying. She's trying to find a way to make yourself relevant. So you know, I'm slamming this dude's name here. How you keep saying my name here? Because you ain't got nothing going on. You ain't making no moves. After that whole situation, I've been on the BMF. I've been on Love and Hip Hop. I'm on the Wu-Tang documentary. I manage a lot of names in the industry with contracts. I make shit happen. So you know, I don't entertain that shit. Let's motherfucker come on my face with the bullshit. I'm gonna straighten it all out. Straighten it all out.
Knowledge, go ahead.
How did you get your start in the game in regards to artist development, artist management?
When I was at A&R at Def Jam, which I got Method Man his solo deal because Oli Grant, which is Power, the guard, that's my cousin. His father and my father are brothers. He put his street money behind the whole Wu Tang and still with him to this day. If y'all don't know who Power is, he's the one that played in Belly. His name was
Knowledge
Knowledge.
born. Yeah, he made me famous.
Mm-hmm.
Salute to the guy.
Right. And he played in White and Black as well, Black and White.
Right.
So if you ever go on Showtime and go to Men's and Mike, that's the Wu-Tang documentary. It's a 4-part series. You'll see Kal Dawson sitting at the table with RZA, Capadonna, Raekwon, Master Killer, Meth, and the rest of them. I got a white T-shirt on with the big ass blue Wu-Tang sign on the front.
So, I know you had a bone to pick with um, a lot of people after Black Rob passed away. Can you tell us why you were kind of calling out everybody because you said, not to misquote you, but basically, they didn't do right by him.
Them cocksuckers did. Them son of bitches didn't do shit by Black Rob. His so-called friends, family, his own son. I got Black Rob, Mr. Cheeks, and Benny Thiegel book in Atlanta All-Star Weekend, March 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday event. Black Rob performed with Cheeks on a Friday. When he performed, he got a text message from his cousin he was staying with in Harlem. She said, wherever you at, you need to stay there. Don't come back here, blah, 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 blah. So he showed me his phone, the text message. I was like, well, fuck
Mm-hmm.
it. You got money in your pocket, you know what I'm saying? You go to the hotel and then we figure it out from there. So Black Rob, he on dialysis. In New York, he's going to dialysis 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So by him not being in New York on dialysis, he started swelling up in Atlanta, Georgia, because he had health care in the state of New York. So in Georgia, that doesn't hold no weight. So by law, whatever state you in, when you go admit yourself to the hospital, they got to treat you. So what
Mm-hmm.
happened was while he was down in Atlanta, he kept swelling up. So he was in a hotel. Um, his son was there, Little Rob. So Little Rob got on a plane with his friend and went back to New York. But he was like, "Yo, um, make sure my father's good and blah 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 da 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 da." So I'm like, why he ain't taking his own father back with him to New York? Which was strange to me. Moving forward, this other guy from Georgia, he had put Black Rob in the hotel for like 5 days, but Rob started running out of money. So Goldmouth had put him up in the hotel for like 5 days, and the Rob started swelling up. He called me. I told him I'd take him to the hospital. They took him to Grady Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. And Rob was there for like 4 or 5 days. They refiltered his blood. And when they let him out, I had him at this dude named this drummer dude house out in Fayetteville, Georgia. Now, Mark Curry, which was an artist on Bad Boy, and he had a friend named Wop. Wop was from the Bronx, I think, but he had a juice bar in Atlanta. They live in Atlanta. They ain't let Black Rob stay with him. So my issue is like, if that's your friend, you got history with him. I don't got history with Black Rob. I know him as an artist. I didn't start working with Black Rob till August of 2020 during the pandemic, and he died April 2021. So I didn't even have a year relationship with him. But I was going the humanity thing to do. I wasn't going to leave him for dead. You know what I mean? So now, all these people, when he was, let me see, he went to the hospital in Fayetteville, Georgia. He needed a procedure done, then they couldn't do it. So they transferred him to Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta on P Street. And when he got transferred there, the next day, I think that he had a bunch of fluid in his body, so they put a tube in his back and was draining the fluid out. And that was the day that I video recorded it, and it went viral because that was the day they had DMX funeral, and Rob was trying to discharge himself out to come to New York to go to DMX funeral. I said, no, you could do for X. X is dead, and you up here with a tube in your back. Like, what are you gonna do going to the funeral? I understand you want to show your respect to the man because he was your friend, but you ain't in no condition to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So DJ Self had reposted that on his page, and then a lot of people been calling DJ Self thinking that Self recorded that. He was like, nah, Kal did. So celebrities started calling DJ Self, and he called me. And when it started circling, then Jay reached out to DJ Self, and Self called me. So a lot of people were just trying to, they became opportunists, and they was trying to like come up in fame through Black Rob's health conditions. And I ain't like that shit. Everybody was his so-called friends.
Knowledge, you had a
Y'all could have
question?
called them. Y'all could have left New York and came and got him, but he didn't want to go back to New York. So financially, y'all could have sent him money. Y'all didn't do that. So I don't know what type of, I understand I was told that he burned some bridges back in the day with some people, but end of the day, he's fucked up in the hospital. So why you ain't look out for him? I'm coming back and forth from New York to Atlanta to make sure he's good.
So let me ask you a quick question. Do you think Diddy failed him as well?
I don't know exactly what relationship was, but Rob told me he signed to Bad Boy. It was for $800,000 for 10 years. So then I was told from Black Rob that he was there with them at Club New York took place. And the guy had a conversation with Rob first. Rob said, the guy was saying, yo, your niggas, all you niggas here with money, that. So Rob was like, why you telling me that shit? Puff over there, don't tell that shit to Puff right there. What you my face that bullshit for? So when Rob sent the dude over there to Puff took it as a way like, oh, this nigga Black Rob on some bullshit. So I don't know what else could have transpired between them two, but Puff could have did a lot more for Black Rob. He ain't do nothing for him but just pay for his funeral. So I don't know how everybody was calling Diddy a scholar and all this other bullshit. Because on the Bad Boy Reunion tour, when Diddy found out Black Rob was on dialysis, he kicked him off the tour. Styles P told me this shit. Styles P was like, yo, this dude Diddy found out Rob was on dialysis. He kicked him off the tour like he didn't want to pay for the dialysis. So Styles P said, Black Rob not performing, I'm not performing. Then Sheik Lou said, I'm not performing. Then Jadakiss fell in line. Then Kim fell in line. Then was like, well, fuck it. I got to put this dude back on his tour now because these guys is not going to perform. That's some bullshit. You got the money. So what the problem is? That's why I did it to PT shit. I don't feel sorry for what he's going through. God don't like ugly. He ain't too far on the pretty either.
Knowledge, you had a question?
You work with a lot of artists. How do you kind of coach through some of these delusions that they go through? Like, folks, they get this larger than life persona. Like, how are you able to still try to work with them and manage their relationships that they might have skewed or burnt in regards to that?
What I do is, right, I deal with Benny Siegel, Freeway, Bleak, Benzino, Big 50, Mr. Cheeks, CL Smooth, Christopher Williams. They all got their own different personalities. Like I don't know if any one of you have been in prison though. When you're in prison, you deal with different personalities in the unit or on your cell block. So it's the same thing with artists. You know what I mean? This dude here, okay, 24 years ago, you was that dude. It's a new era right now. So you ain't popping like you was back then. This dude pulling up beside me on the double parking sitting there. Oh, weirdo. But anyway, I know how to cope with them because I just keep it real. I tell them, like, I'm not nobody's yes man. So I tell them exactly what it is. Like, yo, if you want $10,000 for a show and you're not even relevant, you got nothing on the radios, no. Your last hit was 24 years ago. If somebody offered you $8,000, do the show. Something be to blame.
So you say the math ain't mapping with that, huh?
Yeah, you want to ask for 10,000. You ain't ever hit 24. If I was a promoter, I'm not gonna pay that money for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, the return on investment, it's not gonna add up on the end.
Right. Yeah, you got old classics. So people 35 and up, they probably come out. But end of the day, like some artists might take 2,400, 3,000 for a show. Why not? It all adds up.
Right.
Because a lot of these artists, they don't have nothing else to fall back on. I mean, so my whole thing is, I had did a documentary about the last days of Black Rob, but I had to be taken down because the dudes I did it with, they didn't go to his funeral. They was from New York. They was from the South, but still, they was around Black Rob. But the whole thing is, when I'm on Front Street, going after all these people, they coming at me, I'm gonna deal with it. There was no way around. So now you want to coach him, you want to capitalize off of his death with this documentaries on Tubi. I said, nah, take that shit down because I ain't like how the business was being done. So I'm gonna redo the whole documentary with somebody well known named J. Jesse Smith. He did Before I Self-Destruct for 50. He did Crime Partners. He did his video, I Get Money. He did a Rough Riders Anthem. He did a lot of other shit too. So Jeff was like, I understand. I'm gonna fuck with you. I'm gonna redo the documentary with you and possibly turn this into a 4-part doc series.
So let me ask you this, because you know the industry is on fire right now with this Diddy shit. So with that being said, what can you tell us from your experience since this has basically been led on to your peers? Like what have you seen as far as, are people scared? Are people, you running and telling on people? Like what have you witnessed?
Well, I was informed that somebody close to Diddy that's in his camp, they made a deal with the feds to testify against them because they want a lot of them videotapes as well. But that doesn't surprise me because a lot of people is not going to keep it real. They're not going to hold it down. A lot of people talk that talk, but they ain't walking the walk. So
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers who never been in jail, they not trying to go. So of course they're going to say this and say that. So my whole thing is the whole Diddy situation. I don't know who did what behind closed doors, but in life, you know your do's and don'ts. It's like if I'm
Right.
dating you, Jazz, what I look like going behind your back and sleeping with your sister or your close friend. You know what I'm saying? That's a no-no.
Right.
So if these guys are living an alternate lifestyle, if that's your thing, that's your thing. It doesn't bother me. But if he was so-called, I don't know what he charged for. They say sex trafficking, but where's the sex trafficking at? Because all I'm seeing that he had cameras in his house, people was having like freaking off. What's the law against that? You got people on Pornhub doing the same shit. They freaking off on Pornhub. And
Well,
other
they say he's charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and something else. I forgot the third
who
charge.
was he sex trafficking?
I guess some of these women or boys or men or whoever, I don't know.
Well, I know one thing. I did Fed time, so the feds got you. You know, they got something on you. Now, what he could do is just keep his mouth shut and take his lumps. So I don't know. He want to start pointing fingers now, but you know, God don't like ugly because karma's a motherfucker. Biggie passed away. A lot of shit going on with that, with his name involved with that. Craig Mack got did dirty. Black
Mm-hmm.
Rob got did dirty. The
Tupac.
Lock said that you was holding a puppets and they want to let them go. You had an issue with Mace, so
Mm-hmm.
he's known for doing fuckery shit. So he's known for doing bad business, not taking care of his artists on his camp. So you get what your hand called for. I don't feel sorry for him. Like I said, fuck him. I did 4 bids. He ain't give a fuck about me. You might say I'm not even on his radar. So you want the world to feel sorry for him? I know one thing. If Cassie was my sister and he beat up like that, kicked her and stomped her, that nigga would have been dancing in the motherfucking box. I would have flatlined his ass a long time ago. I got no problem doing like for no parole for my fucking sister. So fuck all that money shit. It's about pistons and morals. And you would kick my sister like that, I would have came for his motherfucking ass. I would have popped him 2 times in his head and left his ass dead somewhere and be like, yeah, I did it.
So you said that someone had made, you were told someone made a deal with the feds. Is this to get them out of the situation, or is this or helping Puffy?
No, to get them out the situation and the fry Puff. Because the guy who's telling on him is from a reliable source. The guy called one of his baby's mothers. She told Benzino, and Benzino told me. So I'm like, wow, this nothing surprises me. But if the same dude was kissing his ass a couple of years ago, begging Diddy to take him back. He was like, yo, if you saying that he fucked you around with your puppets and doing other shit, why would you go back to him for? I don't understand that. So I don't know what dudes doing behind closed doors. Maybe they free balling or sword fighting. I don't know what the fuck they doing.
Yeah, that's
So
wild.
okay, right. Okay, so So this is obviously somebody that has worked with him, and they're
Absolutely.
on the tape.
I,
Okay.
I guess so. He was living in the house with the cocksucker.
Mm. So what about Jaguar White? Because she's everywhere.
Man, like I said, during the pandemic, 2020, everybody started creating their own podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever reason is, she got all this animosity to everybody else. How the fuck you know everybody's business and they don't even fuck with you because you put a bone on my man Christopher Williams. You said that you saw him in the studio sucking Diddy off. Come to find out, you wasn't even there. An Asian lawyer lady was there. She opened the studio door, seen that, and closed the door. And it wasn't even Christopher Williams, it was somebody else that was light skinned that looked like him, but it wasn't him. But you taking the story and putting yourself there as if you was there and you wasn't. Because Gene Deal said on his platform, he was like, yo, Jaguar wasn't even there. The Asian lawyer, the lady, she opened the door and seen that. And she closed the door. She said the dude looked like Chris, light skin like him, curly hair like him. They could pass for brothers, but that wasn't Chris. So you saying all this shit about all these people to make yourself relevant. And it's like, how you know everybody's business? Like you around everybody, you know, everything's going on. So for Miss Jaguar White, if you know the shit was going on and you didn't say nothing to the authorities about it, then you should be prosecuted as well because you acted in concert, complying to a conspiracy.
So what about Gene Deal? Because I mean, they're kind of on the
If
same.
he's saying the same shit, all this Diddy shit, he should be in charge too, complying to a conspiracy because he's giving information. He said he was there, so that's accessory before and after the fact. He should be prosecuted as well, conspiring to a conspiracy. Because you're telling them on Diddy, but you're putting yourself at the scene of the crime. So you acting in concert because you was there. So if Diddy raped some girl in the house and you was there, you should get charged accessory to rape because you didn't call the authorities. You didn't stop him.
So I gotta ask this because I mean the way this thing got everybody this industry on fire. Have you been to any of his parties?
He's not my friend. No, I've been none of his parties.
Okay.
A lot of these dudes is squares in the industry. They doorknobs. You know, like a dude like Steve Urkel's a nerd. He get into a position. He's a cameraman for a major magazine, so he using that platform. Yeah, I could get you into this such magazine, but you got to spend some time with me, or come to my crib, or come to the hotel with me. So now he's getting pussy now because he never was getting pussy or ass before he got into that position. So he utilizing that as a tool to get with these broads.
Mm-hmm. Knowledge, you had something to add.
So, a key to longevity in the industry for you that you would share with somebody who wanted to get into artist development, artist management?
You have to stay consistent on what you want to do because a lot of people is gonna tell you no, 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 no. Don't do it that way. Do it this way. Don't do it that way. Don't do it this way. Some of that stuff you can take heed to, and some of that you have to, adapt to what works for you. Because some people will be an artist development for like 2 years before they pop off. You know what I mean? Alicia Keys, when she got signed, she was what, 16? She got signed in 96 to J Records, but she didn't pop off till 2000, 4 years later. She was in art development. You know what I mean? So a lot of these artists nowadays, they trying to be like somebody else or sound like somebody else. Just be original and just focus on yourself and make music that the fans like. Don't make music that you like because you're not the ones going to buy your own shit. The fans is. So if you got to change this record 3, 4 times, then do it. Do it. Practice makes perfection. Just like having sex. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what about artist management? What's some of the tools you learned over the years Like something somebody shared with you or something you learned, through trial and error
Well,
that you want to
me
pass
from
on to.
hustling, dealing with dudes working for you and going different states. So management, you deal with a lot of bullshit with the artists because a lot of artists is like babies. They cry about
Mhm.
this, they cry about that. They want you to cater to them. You know what I mean? And end of the day, when you're a manager, you work for the artist, which is true indeed. So you gotta handle all the bullshit, the baby mama drama, the child support shit. You gotta make sure the artist get his deposit money, get the contract, or while you using his or her picture on the flyer, you ain't seen a contract yet, you'll take that flyer down. You ain't take care of the business aspect of things first. That's what a manager's supposed to do. But a lot of these artists here, they want to be manager and be an artist and be this, do that. It's cool if you feel that way. You manage your own shit, that's cool. But your managers only get 10 to 20% of what he or she on get you in a situation for. Like I get somebody into an endorsement deal with Nike or Adidas or Versace. If it's for $1 million, my cut 20%. So you mad about giving me $200,000? You got $800,000?
Mm.
It wasn't for me. You ain't got the $800,000 in the get go. Ain't nobody working for free, but you ain't gonna pick me either, cause I know how to punch you right in the fucking mouth, and you won't get no deal.
So okay. So
Oh, just for the record, for the people watching this podcast, I'm very active. I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna press no charges either. And as they say, yeah, if you got a pitch with me, I want that smoke.
so I wanted to let's kind of bring this to a closing. Because with the Diddy thing and you, because you're actually friends with someone that is kind of tied into a situation that has been going around all social media platforms right now. And everybody's been talking about the girl in LL's video and Biggie's video, um, saying that she is a man, a tranny, and you're actually friends with one of the
Her
family members,
cousin.
right? So could you tell us how that even where did that rumor come from? And then we're going to close it
I
out because
listen.
she'll be coming in.
I don't know who started it or what year started it. I paid it no attention because people say a lot of things on social media nowadays. So I guess I was told to do choke no joke. He was pushing the issue. That's a tranny. Come to find out, I know her cousin. Her cousin, that's a woman. That's my cousin. She married. She lives in Arizona, and I seen up to date pictures of the same individual. It was floating around. They said that the tranny died a few years ago. Or da. And it's all false. But social media put a bad bone on people. That shit's crazy. How you gonna say that if you don't know? Just say you don't know. Cause I know her cousin, she's a full woman. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's bad. Like people just like, oh, that's a man. So the girl now, she don't even do videos no more, but she's not addressing anything because she's like, she's married, she moved on, and she living her life. But that shit back in '95. We talking about 2024. Like somebody called Benzino, a famous rapper called Benzino, oh, he a faggot, he fuck with trannies. Benzino used to run a gang up in Boston called Almighty RSO. Because you know about sports, though, Chris, what's his name? Paul Pierce got stabbed by niggas in Benzino's clique. You know what I mean? A lot of rappers going to Boston had issues. Bad
Mm-hmm.
Joe did, Nas
Yep.
did. Benzino ain't no punk now. He pushed a button, but when this certain artists kept antagonizing him, Benzino said, I tell you how much of a faggot I mean. I take my dick and stick it in your girl mouth and let her suck it in front of you. And I'm going to carry that thing on me when I see you, nigga. I'm going to flatline you. Then I get phone calls like, yo, why your man going extra? He for real. He stands on what he said. Sometimes you get annoyed with that shit. Enough is enough.
Yeah. So, Kyle, what are you currently working on as of right now?
Well, I'm working on the new Black Rob situation. I'm working with another director, J. Jesse Smith, of a movie with a bunch of rappers into it. They're gonna do a heist and you're gonna get away with it. So we working on that, putting that together. I'm working on Big 50, getting her series done on a major platform about her life story, her being a female drug queenpin out of Detroit. She good peoples. Yeah, if you fucked up, she give you her last dollar. She looked at a lot of dudes, and she was moving 150 kilos, went to jail, and niggas told on her. She didn't even tell nobody. I'm like, damn, you harder than a lot of dudes I know.
Okay. So let me ask you this, because I asked everybody to come on this platform this. If you left this world tomorrow, what would you want your legacy to be for?
I helped a lot of unsigned artists get on major platforms. I helped a lot of, I rebirthed a lot of artists that people wasn't checking for them no more. Once I started managing them, I brought them back to life, getting them shows, making them relevant. Some artists don't appreciate that shit because they become opportunists. They gonna go to anybody that can do something for them. But that's just part of the game. Barack Obama overturned my sentence. I got sentenced to 10 years in the feds. I did 5 years. He overturned my sentence and mini released me. So that's another thing that I did in this world. And I've been in Forbes magazine twice. And I don't got no cause to grieve. So I did a lot of, if I die right now, I'll be all right. I'll be at peace. I'm good. I don't got no enemies. Not the ones that's going to confront me. If I do got somebody that's an enemy that he or she didn't confront me, when's that day's going to happen? Because I'm waiting. I'm ready. I stay ready.
Knowledge, you got one more thing left?
Is there something we're going to be able to read from you, or something where you tell your story in your own words versus what the world got to say about you?
That's to the making. And to the God knowledge, peace, God.
Peace to the God.
Peace. What's today's mathematics? Let's get on that.
It's wisdom God. I'll be born and born.
Today's the 27th.
Let's go.
Today's wisdom God. All being born is, you know what I'm saying? I can go on and on with this. Performance and backwards.
That's it. Born is to bring it to existence, either physically or mentally. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I asked the question about what you birthing into existence for the world to have. When you gone from the physical, you'll be here forever for the works that you did. So
I'm like Idi Amin. I ain't going nowhere. I'm be here forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm be here forever. Your favorite Idi Amin?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the old footage of him, right? As a news reporter asked him, Mr. Amin, will you ever give up your throne in Uganda? He said, never. He said, will you, how long you gonna be the president of Uganda? Forever.
He's still the president now. There would be no Uganda if he didn't do what he did. He gave the country back to its people and ran out the people that was running it rampant. So yeah, that's a legacy right there.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't like him because he was into that Cambodian stuff. If you was of any power, he eating you, and he felt that what you possess in you, by him eating you, he gonna possess that in him.
Yeah,
he would have ate. He would have ate Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Warren Buffett, or he would have ate them. He would ate their asses up.
So, Kyle, first off, I want to thank you for taking the time out to even speak with myself and Knowledge. We would love to have you come back when that documentary is out. And I'm gonna give you this time to give any shout outs to anybody.
I'm gonna come back and deal with y'all. I'm gonna let the fans know too. The other day, Jasmine invited me on this other show, and this lady came at me left field. That was something else there.
Yeah, that was. It was.
It wasn't something for the culture. That's
It
all I'm
sure was
No,
not.
no, it
It
wasn't.
was.
It
it
was
wasn't
crazy.
something for
I
the
saw
culture.
Jazz a video in her messenger on Facebook when the lady was in a strip club and she stuck her tongue out and the girl was twerking the front end and backed up on her mouth.
In case everybody is lost, we were on another platform that we do called Righteously Ratchet, and we were discussing like taboo sex acts. So, and one of the things that came up was ass eating. So that's what we were discussing, and it just totally went left field. But Kyle, I'm gonna give you this time to give any shout outs to anybody.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my dude, Mr. Everyday Stay High. When I came out of prison in 2011, he was my first client. He was like, "Yo, I fuck with you, homie, you from the hood. You did amazing things before you got incarcerated." So I would shout out my man, Mr. Cheeks from the Lost Boys. Shout out my man, Royal Flush, Beanie
The
Siegel,
governor.
Freeway, Memphis Bleak, Big 50, Benzino, um, shit. My man Capone from CNN, my man Icy on a restaurant in Atlanta, Mr. Everything. Shout out to everybody from Southside Jamaica, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan. Shout out to my people from New Jerusalem, from Newark, Asbury Park, you know, Trenton, Edgewater, the whole NYC, East Coast, West Coast. We got to stick together as us as black people. This world about to flip. See, we got two people running for president. Somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. I don't know.
Dope, dope, dope. Knowledge, you want to take us up out of here?
It's been another magnificent episode of something for the culture. We over here with living legends like Kal Dawson, man. See what I'm saying? Working and creating a future for our artistry while folks is trying to destroy this art form that we love, that we grew up in, based off a void of instrumentation being taken out of the school system. Hip hop here and it's gonna be here forever, like Kal Dawson, like Edie. I mean, so honest to you.
And for the ladies out there, I'm single and I'm for sale. Uh, I'm for sale. You better
There
have
you
a good
go.
credit score because I ain't gonna come cheap now. So I
There you
don't know.
go. There you go.
I'm coming a real credit card, not that debit card shit.
Oh my God. A mess. Again, this has been another special episode of Something for the Culture. I am your host, Jazzy J. My co host, Knowledge Born Allah from Do the Knowledge Radio. Y'all have a good night. And we'll be back shortly with another episode.
Peace.